Welcome to the Simply Authentic podcast with Angie and Tanya, where we hope to inspire you to dream big and push past your fear, empower you to take charge of your own life, and challenge you to be the most authentic self you can be. Welcome back to the Simply Authentic podcast. I'm Angie Mullings.
And I'm Tanya Murfin. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So this episode is all about Christmas. And we want to bring you some Christmas cheer, maybe some helpful tips, maybe some funny stories, and let you know about all the lighting displays that we've researched. So you don't need to look any further. Google it. Just listen to this podcast.
All things Christmas.
All things Christmas.
That's what we're doing. Because, Tanya, I find that people are, at this time of year, they're either giddy, like I am.
You're giddy.
I am giddy about Christmas.
Yes.
I really am.
Yes.
Some people are just stressed out.
Yes.
To the max.
Yes.
And some people just don't give a crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
some people don't like this time of year.
I know.
For various reasons.
Yes. Yes.
So, and I understand all levels of it. I don't call myself giddy. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of middle of the road. Yeah. I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I would not say I love it.
Yeah.
And that's just, middle of the road.
Middle of the road.
I enjoy it. I enjoy all the things that come with it. Mm-hmm. It does get stressful at times.
It does.
And so I'm anxious to get into this and us kind of quiz each other on what we do and our behaviors and, what we've learned in our past and experiences, and stuff like that.
Recommendations.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so first question for you.
Okay.
How long does it take you, or when do you start getting in the Christmas spirit?
Thanksgiving weekend. I do enjoy the entire time from Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's.
Okay.
I love the Thanksgiving holiday. That's kind of the kickoff. I know a lot of people start putting up their Christmas decor ahead of time, but many times I'm at the NAR conference the week before Thanksgiving. So I don't really have an opportunity to do that. And I love fall. So I'm not anxious to get rid of my fall decor. I love pumpkin, and I've got all my pumpkin candles out. Yeah. So I'm not anxious to get rid of that, but I am ready to then transition. So all of Thanksgiving weekend, with the exception, of a few things that I do over Thanksgiving weekend, it is all about just dragging everything out. And I have tons of decor because I get really bored. So I get bored with red and green. So then I do navy and gold. And I get bored with navy and gold. And I have a pink room, and I have a red and green room, and I have a navy room. And I have to change it all the time.
Yeah.
So
that's why we call you giddy.
That's right. That's why. Until last year, never put my tree up or decorated before Thanksgiving. Yeah. And last year, for some reason, I was ready to be done with the pumpkins. And I love fall too. In fact, I would say I love decorating for fall and October-ish things more than Christmas. Yeah. I just love that time of year. But last year, I put my tree up like 2 weeks early. And I did this, I put it up a week before Thanksgiving this year. And I had a week of downtime where I just cleaned my house. And all my tchotchkes were still put away before I got the Christmas stuff out. And that felt kind of good. That was like a breath of fresh air of, okay, we've done away with one holiday, and now we're ready to decorate for the next holiday. And it's like a switch gets flipped in me that I'm ready to, okay, let's do it. And I have to say this year, I didn't get all my decor out. I did it over so many days that I finally got tired and was like, I think I'm done. Yeah. Yeah.
So
you have grandkids now. So
I do.
Has that changed your approach to Christmas at all?
I let Blake help me decorate the little tree that I put Lakin and Madden's ornaments on from when they were little. And she loved that. That's something that I obviously haven't done before because she wasn't big enough. But Blake was at Doreen's house when Doreen got her Christmas stuff out when Lakin and Caleb were on their honeymoon. And I went over, we were exchanging kids, and I went over that weekend to Doreen's to get Blake and drop off Rylan. And Doreen looked at me and said, I had Blake help me decorate for Christmas. And there was just stuff sitting in piles on shelves and stuff.
Yes.
So I learned from that to maybe not invite her over for the actual decorating event, but let her do a little tree. And she did love that. But it was kind of stressful because she was throwing ornaments out and,
Yeah.
So
being 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't really, I guess I'd rather make some other traditions with her, maybe around baking or going to see Christmas lights.
Yes.
She loves
Does
Christmas
she?
lights. So that's a big deal. And I am going to make a point to have her with me in the evening to drive around and look at lights because she gets so excited about
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't make fun of anyone who gets their Christmas decor out early, because here's the thing. If you put it up too late, how do you enjoy it?
right, agree.
you've
And it's
gotta
a lot of
have it up.
trouble.
It is. It's a lot of work
Yes.
to get it all. And I decorate at home. I decorate the office. We have a huge tree
Yeah,
at the
same.
office, and so you're putting in a lot of time. So you want
Yes.
to be able to enjoy it.
Agree.
So no judging on people who put their Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving, because I get it. I get it.
Now, the people who put them up in October, there's something wrong there. I don't
Something wrong
get
with
that.
you people.
All right, so shopping. Let's talk
Yeah.
about shopping. Do you? I know you love to shop. Duh. Do you enjoy shopping for others?
I love shopping for others.
Okay, that would make sense.
I don't care about getting gifts myself, but
Okay.
it's the time of year where I just kind of splurge and I think, oh, I want to get this person something. I want to get this person something. And I just love to do that. And I'm pretty good at it. Honestly, I feel like I listen to people and try to pick out things that are appropriate for them. And a lot of times I'm not spending a ton of money. It's that I have listened and I have paid attention to something that I know they collect or I know they're interested in. And so I do put a lot of thought into my gift giving.
Okay.
And I love it. My mom, is getting older, and she's gotten to the point where, like, my sister-in-laws sometimes get the stuff for their kids, so
Right.
she doesn't have to go
Yes.
out and shop.
Of course.
Or they'll ask for gift cards or whatever. We just did a shopping trip. We do this annually. It's the mother-daughter shopping weekend in Kansas City, and there was one nephew that she hadn't been able to. Nothing had been bought for him yet, so I got to do all the shopping for him,
Oh.
and I loved it. I mean, he's 5, so
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I can. And he's got his list, so I can work off his list.
Right.
But also, I have fairly good taste when it comes to dressing, so I can.
You do.
I can
I would
pick
agree.
out cute clothes for him. So I love all that. What about you and shopping?
I'm not a shopper.
Yeah.
I don't love shopping. In fact, I was at the mall yesterday looking for the sweater that I had because I don't have any cheerful Christmassy sweaters. I guess I've just gotten rid of what I've had over the years. And it gives me anxiety. I don't, and the mall was not busy last night, so it wasn't terrible, but I just don't enjoy shopping. Like I have to be purposeful in my shopping.
Yeah.
I have to know what I'm going for. I'm not a big just walk around and shop.
Yeah.
I do enjoy gift giving. I love to surprise people with a great gift. I love to be thoughtful in a gift and have listened to, I love to take baths, or I love, whatever little thing. Again,
Right.
what you said, it doesn't have to be an expensive gift, but something that you were paying attention to something they love.
Right.
So I love that. For my children, I've always loved to buy them gifts until they got older and stopped liking my surprise gifts.
Yes.
Right? So there's a point in a teenager's life that what mom thinks is cool is no longer cool for the
Right.
teenager.
Right.
So I started getting a very specific list somewhere in the teenage years. And it at the time it offended me because there's joy in the surprise for me.
Yes.
Well, if you know my daughter Lakin, she is the worst gift giver and surprise holder. She doesn't she does not want any surprises.
Oh.
In fact, she wants her gifts today, like on December whatever this is. She doesn't want to wait until Christmas. She knows what you've got her, so she just wants you to go ahead and give it to her. That's been her mentality for her young adult years here. And it drives me nuts. And the whole, I guess I would say I had to give up on my excitement of surprises with both of the girls because they just send me links.
Yeah.
And then they say, did you order that? Have you already gotten that? Did you buy that? And or they'll get on my Amazon account and check and see if I bought it. So,
Oh, no.
but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I know that the money I'm spending is well spent and
Sure.
it's exactly what they wanted.
Sure.
I, of course, have a few surprise gifts that I, surprise them with every year. But it might not be something big.
Yeah.
And then again, it might be something big. You never know. It just
Right.
depends on the year.
Right.
But yeah, they kind of took a little bit of the joy of shopping out for me. So honestly, this year, I have done very little shopping outside of my phone,
Really?
which is shocking even to me, somebody who
Yeah.
doesn't enjoy shopping,
Yeah.
that everything is so easily found on your phone. Another, for instance, I like to give back and give to the needy or you were, sponsor a family or whatever.
Right.
And so I had some gift tags that I had to go buy specific things for yesterday, which was one of the reasons I was out shopping. Couldn't find it and had to go 3 different places for a Nike bag. Ended up getting online and having to order it. So
Wow.
so then I'm like, okay, well, proof is in the pudding that sometimes it's just easier
It is
to get on your
easier.
phone.
We want to promote shopping local and
Absolutely.
and supporting local, but there are times I know. I mean, like I said, we do this big shopping weekend, and I'll still come home and have to look online to find something because I couldn't find, and sometimes for the little guys, I do have a list of they want the specific toy,
Right.
Because while I feel comfortable picking out clothes, I don't feel comfortable picking out tarantula, remote control tarantula. What? I know, right? But that's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay.
So I would never have guessed that to pick out for him. So I like it when they give me the list for the toys that they like, but
For sure.
I can pick out clothes and stuff. But again, sometimes it's just you can't find.
Right.
You mentioned something about giving, and I try to do the same. There are a couple of places that I like to shop because they match one for one.
Okay.
And one of my favorites is Bombas. Bombas socks, Bomba. You do have to shop online I take that back. There are some retail locations that do carry some Bomba, but to have the widest variety, I have to go online directly to their site.
Got it.
But they give a pair of socks for every pair of socks
Love
that you
that.
buy.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it too. So
Yeah.
every year, my family knows everybody in the family is going to get a pair of Bomba socks. They're great socks, so they're great quality.
Yes.
And then I also know I'm helping someone
Yeah.
else because
I
they're
love that.
doing matching one for one. Toad and Company is another one. Toad, Toad and Company. All of their products are made from recycled, and it's mostly clothing, and it's made from recycled materials, and they also give a percentage of their sales.
Love it.
They donate a percentage of their sales.
Yes.
So I try to look for those organizations that do give back, and if I'm going to shop anyway, I would just as soon buy from someone who's going to be
For sure. Yeah.
in that lane and give back. So
Yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you rather have a gift from someone, or would you rather have an experience with someone?
You know, I love the idea of experience giving now. And
I do
and
too.
when it comes to like my parents or somebody that's super hard to buy for, I will come near doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
because
sure.
they're going to go out and buy whatever they want anyway.
Yes, yeah.
So they don't necessarily need anything
Mm-hmm.
or even want anything. But if I can buy an experience, I think that's the best gift.
Yeah.
And me personally, I'm kind of down the middle of the road. I love a good experience, but I also like getting things that I'm not expecting to
Yeah.
get.
Agree.
So I'm kind of middle of the road. We did post a poll on our socials, and we had a few people respond to us, and it was overwhelming experience.
Agree.
They would really like, and I think it's because you get to a certain age where, you know, if I want a sweater, I'm going to go buy a sweater.
Exactly.
So somebody can't buy me a sweater that I can't just get myself.
Right.
You know?
Agree.
But if they buy me a golf package,
Yeah.
then I can go golf with my friends and,
Yeah.
you know, do that. Or a package to Bear Creek Winery or, you know, something like that.
Something unique.
Something unique.
Yeah. And going together with friends this time of year, if you wanted to do something for each other. But,
Yes.
you know, if you buy me a bottle of wine and I buy you a bottle of wine, we're just swapping wine.
Exactly.
Right? We'd probably rather go eat and have wine together.
Exactly.
Have an experience together versus just a, you know, bottle.
Right.
So I think that is a great suggestion for people who want to share time together. Really, it's the gift of time, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I love that idea.
Yeah. So do you fall on the side of experience or?
I probably fall on that side only because I can go buy the sweater that I want or the shoes that I need or whatever. And
Oh, that's funny. You have to need shoes before you buy them? What? This is a new concept for me, y'all.
Angie doesn't understand that word.
No.
When it comes to shoes in the same
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I need shoes. So the girls obviously always ask me what I want, and I really have to think about it because if I need X, I just order X.
Yes.
And you know, we don't need very many things at this age. You know, we're good to go until maybe we have a new idea or something breaks down. It's time to get a new one, or you know,
Right.
got to update your wardrobe every now and again. For you, maybe
4
every
weeks.
every month. But I try to be mindful of things that I actually am going to use for what I tell the girls to get me.
Yeah.
And I gave her something to get me, and she said, well, what else do you need? And I said, I love Sinless Pastry coffee. You can buy it at Walmart. And she goes, I'm not buying you coffee. But for me, it's a little more expensive by a couple of dollars, mind you,
Right.
than the Target coffee that I buy. So that's a treat to me. So
Yes.
that's how simple I am, really.
Yeah.
Like, give me a couple bags of that. I know I'm good for a month of
Yeah.
Sinless Pastry.
Yeah.
And, but that's not a gift for her to buy. She wants to buy me something different than coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so anyway.
Now that you say that, I wonder if it causes, I've never asked her this, but when I tell my mom, I need you to tell me what you want for Christmas, because I'm not just shopping for me to give my mom. My dad relies on me to
Got
get,
it.
you know, so
Okay.
I have to
Yeah.
buy from him to her. 'Cause,
Sure.
you know, God knows we don't want him going out and trying to shop for her. But I wonder if it causes her some stress whenever, because as you were talking, I thought, you know, maybe it causes her stress just to try to come up with something. Maybe
Yeah.
I just need to stop asking and just go buy something.
True. Yeah.
And I
Of
think
just
she'd
how
be
you
happy
know
with
her
just,
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just coffee or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Last year we got, again, because parents are so hard to buy for.
Yes.
We bought my dad a gift card to big cedar top of the rock. You know, if you get one of their gift cards, you can use it for all kinds of things.
That's awesome.
And this will probably lead us into a discussion about light displays. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So because we bought him that, but he didn't want just he and mom to go. He wanted us to go with him. So my sister and I went with them. We drove, went down, had a nice dinner at Arnie's, and then we took the drive through the lights that they have at Top of the Rock.
Yeah.
You can get a golf cart and drive through, and it's more extensive if you get the golf cart and drive through, but that really wasn't his cup of tea. He wanted to stay in the car, and he wanted just to drive through, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was. It's well worth the drive down to that area just to see what they've got. And I'm sure it grows every year. I'm sure it gets bigger every year.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful display. And that was his gift, you know, was dinner at Arnie's, and we drove him down. It was an experience. Yeah.
I love that. And that's a great example of, it doesn't have to be some big elaborate vacation experience.
Right.
It can be, and I always feel like Top of the Rock is an experience in itself.
True.
And I don't go down there that often. I think if you live around here, you might get there once or twice a year if you're lucky.
Right.
And it's expensive, but it's worth it because it's an experience.
Exactly.
You feel a certain way when you're there. If you're there at Christmas time, you get to see the lights. You always get to see the chapel. In the middle of the summer when I was there, they have the cannon that they shoot off. And I want to say they played bagpipes.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I read something about that recently, now that I say that. Anyway, it's an experience. So I think we need to remind people that if you're thinking, oh, I can't afford to buy an experience, it doesn't necessarily have to come with a big old price tag to it.
No. Dinner and a movie is an experience.
Yes.
And if you know people who like movies and just dining out, but they don't do it very much, even I would love that.
Absolutely.
You know, just
Agree.
a gift card to go have dinner and a movie. That's a simple experience that a lot of people would appreciate.
Agree. I think so too. And I think the getting older, and you kind of talking about your mom and the things that would maybe please her but don't seem like a good enough gift, like what Lakin said.
Right.
The little things like, you know, if you like to take baths and you get somebody bubbles and bath salts. And I mean, that stuff costs money that you're spending throughout the year. It's nice to have a stash of it.
Sure.
That you're not necessarily having to think about it every single time. Oh, am I out? Or, you know, stocking up on things like that for somebody, and maybe getting them a new robe, or, you know, if there's
slippers,
exactly.
really comfy slippers.
Yeah,
or
something that is unique to that person, to what they love to do.
Right.
So those are always, I think, the best gifts.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. So we were kind of starting to talk about different things you can do for Christmas, different light displays. We talked about Top of the Rock. I know there's a lot around here.
Yes. And when you Google it, I think you learn there's more than what you know about. At least for me, there was, because, of course, Silver City is always, you know, at the top of that list. That's an experience in itself.
It is.
And one that everybody from around here always loves to go have, but there's also much easier ones and less of an investment. If you don't have season passes to that, you're possibly not going to buy a ticket for your whole family to go down there once a year.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. So some of these local places, and I saw this on the news a couple weeks ago, and I would love to get out there, is the Japanese Stroll Garden here in Springfield.
Yes.
It sounded like it, and looked like, because they had some of the pictures on this newscast, beautiful, and a walking path, so you have to bundle up. But how fun is that on a nice evening to bundle up, take your kids or your family or a couple of friends, and go out and enjoy a little bit of Christmas out there.
Right. And they call that Gardens Aglow.
Okay.
And they do have specific dates and times for that. So I would encourage, if you want to know specifically when it's open, to go to the Greene County Parks Department website. They've got a list of all of that.
Yes.
As well as the Candy Cane Lane at Rutledge Wilson Farm Park. And it specifically is open Friday Friday through Sunday from December 1st to December 17th in the evening, 5 to 8.
Okay.
So I've heard a lot of families that go out there and enjoy that. A lot of the churches around do small displays, and you could just drive from church to church and check out what they're doing.
Yeah. One that I looked up that I knew nothing about, and I don't know if you saw this on your search, was the Bee Highway Christmas Walk. It's out east of town, east of Springfield. And it didn't necessarily say it was in Rogersville or in Fordland. I feel like it said it's only like a 20-minute drive. So I'm assuming it's on the other side of Rogersville or somewhere in that area. And it's a Christmas walk. And so kind of like the Japanese stroll garden, you bundle up and you walk through it. So I'd never heard of that and didn't know it existed. Yeah, so that's something that people could Google. And then the Parks and Republic also apparently have a big display. Awesome. And I didn't know that.
I wasn't aware either.
Yep. The J.R. Martin Park.
Okay. Lots and lots of opportunities to see lights anywhere you are.
Yes,
around here.
For sure. Absolutely. And I think there's nothing that gets you more in the spirit than driving through lights, having to bundle up and walk through lights. It just, it's one of those things. For me as a kid, I have great memories of my parents driving me around through lights.
Yes.
And so I feel like that is something of a tradition that I want to establish with Blake and Rylan so that they can appreciate it too. And Blake already is appreciating it, so that's kind of exciting.
Yeah. That you're right. There's nothing better to get you in the mood. Hot cocoa and warm, snuggly clothes, walking around, looking at lights. And if you happen to be in the Kansas City area, and again, I mentioned that we have this mother-daughter weekend. We always go to Kansas City. I love the plaza at Christmas time.
It's beautiful.
It's hard to beat the plaza at Christmas time.
Yep.
Just walking around. You don't even have to shop down there. Just walk around and admire the lights. It's just beautiful at this time of year.
It really is. Yeah, they always deck that out so well.
Yeah.
So, Angie, is there any gifts? Like, you remember when Oprah was on and she would have Oprah's favorite things. Is there anything that you either repeat buy year after year or something this year that is everybody's getting this or the females are getting this or anything that comes to mind?
That's kind of my gift to my siblings is sort of Angie's favorite things.
Okay.
And they start with the Bombas socks.
Right.
So that's always tradition.
Okay.
There is a honeybee lotion that I love that I always make sure that goes in their little gifts. Let's see. I feel like there's something else, and I don't want to give anything away for this year.
No.
But I try to do something that is really special to them, but also something I enjoy. But I try to do that. I create Angie's favorite things throughout the year. But the lotion, the Bombas socks are two of the top ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I have a little tool that has recently changed my life.
Oh, really? Do tell.
It has. And you, because you are all things cosmetic and clothing, you're probably going to laugh at this, but I'm not a very hairy person. Okay?
Not a very hairy person.
Hairy.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I've never felt like I needed to do my own dermaplaning, if you will.
Yes.
I don't know what other word you use for that. There's probably some other Ozarkian words to use.
Probably.
But for those of you that don't even know what dermaplaning is, where you scrape off the hairs on your face, okay, as a female.
Right.
Because men have a way of going about that differently.
Right.
So I've been dermaplaned. I'm obsessed with my skin, always have been, and I go have regular facials, and occasionally they'll dermaplane it. But again, I'm not very hairy, so it's not a technique that I need to use very often. Well, I've been introduced to the tinkle.
The tinkle.
The tinkle.
Okay.
Kate, do you know what the tinkle is? Okay, Kate does not. So it's just your over-the-counter from Amazon, aka from Amazon, little face scraper. And so how I got to this, Angie, is I text the girls and said, do one of you have a waxing kit? Because I knew one of them did. And they and said, yeah, I do, but I don't use that anymore. I use this. And she took a picture of her little tool and sent it to me. And I'm like, oh, well, I've seen those, but I've never used one or thought I needed it. And she said that her friends, Chantel and Olivia, got her on it in high school, but she'd never bought new ones. She's always just used her old ones from high school. And Lakin's 25 now. So I'm like, well, that's weird. Anyway, fast forward. I order it. It's there the next day. It's on my doorstep. I get it out. And she happens to be at my house. I'm like, come in here and show me how to use this. So you go at your face at an angle. Completely life-changing.
Really?
The little tinkle that comes, and why it's called that, I don't know, but I love calling it that because you'll remember the little tinkle.
Probably.
Hand tool, right?
Memorable.
And
certainly.
All face hair gone.
Wow.
Let me add that I did text Chantel and say, you didn't grow a beard after using this, did you? And she laughed and said, no, it never created more hair growth. So all my esthetician friends out there, I am not trying to turn business away from you because, again, that's not a regular procedure that I get done when I go, but it certainly is helpful and was life-changing earlier this week for me.
Well, I think I'm going to have to invest. I'm going to have to get one of those.
Or maybe you'll get one for Christmas.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Because, yes, I'm a regular dermaplane patient.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do that almost every time I get a facial. So that could be interesting. Well,
could be life-changing. You're welcome. Tanya's favorite things.
Tanya's favorite things.
Well, as we wrap up about Christmas, anything else that you would like, any other advice you'd like to give to our listeners?
Well, sort of on a different topic. This is kind of heavy on me right now. I just want everybody, again, sometimes Tanya likes Christmas. I'm giddy about Christmas, but not everyone is. Right. And it is the time of year that people tend to suffer from more depression and they have more time on their hands, and just be good to one another and love one another. And sometimes they don't need a gift. They just need that.
Yeah. And spread cheer.
Yeah.
We were at something this morning together, and one of the things in the booklet that we were given just said, smile more, because smiling creates a feeling for yourself and those around you. Right. So if you're grumpy Gus all the time, you are not spreading cheer. So it's Christmas time. Let's smile more, spread kindness.
Yes.
Donate when you can.
Absolutely.
Help the needy.
Giving.
And yes, and we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. We hope that your Christmas is blessed and that your end of year is very blessed as well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Authentic podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Be sure to listen to us on your favorite podcasting app.